Hey, today I want to talk to you about the must-have podcasting tools to crush it with your podcast and to podcast like a pro. Hey, my name is Luis Congdon. I'm the creator of the Podcaster's Secret Weapon, the Ultimate Podcast Launch Guide, and the Podcaster's Secret Weapon Facebook group. All right, so let's dive into podcast tools. The very first thing that you should have if you're gonna crush it with your podcast is some sort of recording equipment. Now, there's a lot of different advice out there and tools that you can use to record with. Now, if you're just getting started, I highly recommend you grab something like GarageBand, which is free, by the way, if you have a MacBook, or use Logic Pro, which does cost money, or use Audacity, which is free for PC and Mac. I really recommend that you don't go out there and you spend a lot of money on recording software. Look, even some of the pros that I know, like myself, are using free software, and they've been doing so from the very beginning. All right, so the other tool that you're gonna need for podcasting like a pro is some sort of microphone. Now, a lot of people, when they get started podcasting, they think, oh my God, I need to record like a pro. I need to sound awesome. So they go out and they buy one of these really expensive mics. Let me share a quick story with you. When I first started podcasting, I had a beat up laptop. It was over 7 years old, and I used the microphone. Now, I was really broke, so I just used one of those mics that comes with your phone with the little headset on it. That is perfect. With a free recording software and a beat up laptop and my headset with the little mic, I was good to go, and I was recording like a pro. And even to this day, those are some of the fan favorites recordings that are getting some of the most hits. So don't go crazy. But now, if you want to step it up from the headset, you can go to something like the ATR 2100. The ATR 2100 is a wonderful microphone. It'll cost you around $50 to maybe $60 something. It's not too big. It's not a big expense. Now, if you want to step it up and spend a little bit more money, and now I'm not saying this is a better microphone, but you can go to the Blue Yeti. It'll cost you anywhere from like $160 to maybe in the hundreds. The Blue Yeti or the ATR are fairly comparable. They're great microphones, but listen, if you're gonna record, you're gonna need a nice mic. At some point, I highly recommend that you grab a microphone that works for you. All right, so let's talk about my other tool, a website. You know, when I talk to podcasters, they're not talking about websites, they're talking about microphones and awesome equipment and how to record. But listen, if you want to really podcast and you want to do so properly, one of the goals that you should have is you're creating an awesome show. It's got great sound, which I've already explained to you how to do a fairly simple version of great recording. And then you want a website, because listen, a podcast at the end of the day really is content marketing. You're creating content that's driving people over somewhere so that they know who you are, what you're up to, and about your business. So you're gonna need a website. Now, there's a lot of options around websites, but my number one tool for websites is WordPress. It beats every other kind of websites out there. So go make sure you have a WordPress website. WordPress.org is what you want. WordPress.org website and everything else I mentioned will get you started with an awesome setup for podcasting like a pro. All right, so we've gone over a variety of tools that you should have. Great recording equipment, software, and a website. But there's a lot more that I'd like to go over with you. So head on over, click on the description, head on over to the website, and I'll see you over there, because I've got an awesome training and videos for you that teaches you much more in depth about how to podcast like a pro and how to profit from your podcast.